Did you know there's a firearm so silent, so stealthy, that its whisper is louder than its shot? That's right. Stop scrolling if that doesn't make sense just yet. You won't believe what I'm about to tell you. This is the story of a gun shrouded in secrecy, a weapon that broke the sound barrier without anyone even hearing it. We're diving into the extraordinary tale of the well-rod pistol, the firearm that almost vanishes into silence. Buckle up, because this journey into history is nothing short of astounding. All right, let's set the stage. It's World War II. The world is embroiled in one of the most devastating conflicts history has ever seen. Amidst this chaos and carnage, covert missions and stealthy assassinations became the unsung, pun intended, heroes of the war effort. But here's the thing. For missions requiring the utmost stealth, even the best weapons of the time were too noisy. This inspired engineers to create a firearm unlike any other. Enter the well-rod pistol, a weapon so peculiar it looks more like a flashlight than a gun. At first glance, you'd never think it's anything more than a simple metal tube. In fact, its strange, modest design was entirely intentional. But don't let appearances fool you. This was a weapon that operated with a singular goal: to eliminate the element of sound. Yep, you heard that right. Or rather, you wouldn't hear it at all. That's exactly the point. So how did this bizarre pistol come to be? The story starts with the Special Operations Executive, also known as SOE, a British organization tasked with sabotage and subversion behind enemy lines. Imagine James Bond, except for real and terrifyingly effective. They required a tool for their operatives that could deliver absolute silence on missions requiring deadly precision. The gun needed to not only blend in, but strike with deadly stealth, leaving little evidence. And so, the well-rod was born. Its design wasn't just about being quiet. It aimed for invisibility, both visually and audibly. It did away with a traditional wooden grip and replaced it with grooves etched into the firearm's steel. It featured no obvious logos, numbers, or symbols that could link it to its creators. It was the perfect ghost of the weaponry world, nearly untraceable. But here's the kicker. The well-rod could achieve what many thought was impossible for firearms. It could fire at volumes quieter than the human voice. How? This is the part where things get really interesting. Utilizing advanced suppression technology, the well-rod incorporated an integral two-stage suppressor. Without diving too deep into technical jargon, this essentially meant it could isolate and diffuse the gases from a fired round so effectively that the decibel level was barely above a whisper. Its sound signature was often compared to the noise you'd hear if you clapped your hands lightly in an empty room. Think about that for a moment. A weapon of destruction that was quieter than your average sneeze. Absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? Of course, the ammunition it used wasn't your regular off-the-shelf rounds either. The well-rod used 9mm or 32 ACP ammo, but the real magic was in tailoring subsonic rounds specifically for its silenced barrel. Subsonic ammunition dramatically reduced the noise of the gun's operation by ensuring the bullet didn't surpass the speed of sound. No loud crack, no telltale sonic boom, just a deadly whisper in the dark. Now you might be thinking, this sounds like something out of a spy thriller. Well, guess what? You'd be right. The well-rod wasn't just remarkable in its engineering, its use in real-world missions engraved its legend into the annals of history. Imagine this. In the dim fog of the Second World War, operatives used the gun to slip behind enemy lines, targeting high-value targets without alerting a single soul. And here's where things get even stranger. Ready for another jaw-dropping fact? The well-rod wasn't just a secret on the battlefield. It remains a secret to this day. Because of its silent deadliness, many records of its missions have been classified or destroyed. No photos, no loud proclamations of its success, just whispers, rumors, and the occasional declassified military document that paints an incomplete yet fascinating picture of its use. Naturally, you're probably wondering, is something like the well rod still around? Short answer, sort of. The gun unofficially popped up in conflicts decades later, despite its official production being discontinued long ago. Some covert organizations and special forces seem to have kept it tucked away for very specific scenarios. But officially? Mum's the word. Governments, militaries, and intelligence organizations continue to keep the well rod's legacy shrouded in silence. To this day, the well rod remains a marvel of engineering, a firearm that solved the age-old problem of noise in an era when stealth could mean the difference between life and death. It's been called the pinnacle of silenced weaponry, and it's still studied in weapons design schools worldwide. Even in the age of advanced suppressor technologies, the well rod remains a benchmark of perfection in acoustic stealth. Ultimately, it's fascinating to think about the implications of a weapon like this. Imagine being able to operate unseen and unheard in the most dangerous environments. Does it make you wonder what else might be secretly lurking in the arsenal of today's world powers? All that remains of the well rod are its hushed legends, some deactivated units in museums, and its incredible influence on modern firearm silencer technology. And now, when someone asks if you've ever heard of the quietest weapon ever made, you can smile knowingly. Because now you know the story of a firearm that doesn't roar, it whispers.